So we've got another deck for you. Whether you'd want to take it, it's one of them ones that I do think new is okay, not always better. Now we do have the Pikachu EX. Now obviously when it comes to Pikachu, we're not necessarily shy of how many we've got. We got plenty of different Pikachus, and most definitely we've had kind of our fair share of EXs. Obviously the main one, which everybody is kind of a big fan of, is going to be the very first one with the Circle Circuit. Now, this is really good because of how much damage it does. But the difference is, obviously, with this Pikachu, you are giving up all free energies every single time. Now, you are doing 150 guaranteed, not a problem. Don't need to worry about any other Pokemon being on your bench. But this is the deck that we're kind of looking at. Whenever looking at electric deck or anything that requires electric, Magneton has to be involved. Like that, the Volt Charge is incredible. But I'm trying to think of, personally, the quickest way that you can get yourselves a certain amount of energies on Pikachu. Now, if I want to use the Pachirisu in this argument, you have got take a electric energy from your energy zone and attach to one of your bench Pokemon. So this is how I see it. And it depends on how you run, because you could end up with just Magnemite on the start. This is going to be very deck specific of what you pull in first. The ideal run that you've got for this, realistically, is this. Pachirisu is in the first spot. Guaranteed. Get it in there. Beautiful. If you go on your first turn, you'll go in second. You get the Plasma on straight away. You've got a Pikachu EX on the bench. Beautiful. Plasma in. Energy on Pikachu. Second turn in, or at least first turn in, you've got Magnemite on there as well. Just added extra there. You can put him on next turn, but Magnemite goes in at that point as well. We are then running Pikachu with 1 energy on the bench, Pachirisu's in the active. We then have an X speed, which I've got 2 of. That's going to be to bring Pachirisu back out. Remember, this is the second turn. You've got Pachirisu back out, Pikachu's in. You've given Pikachu the energy from the energy zone. You've then potentially got Dawn. Don't get me wrong, this is the perfect example. Dawn then comes in, obviously gives yourselves the Pachirisu energy onto the Pikachu. Second turn, 150. Beautiful, bada bing, bada boom. Absolutely lovely. Now, this is where the problem for Pikachu is, because naturally now I'm like, well, I've got 0 on there. So if on the third turn, you've then got Magneton, remember, perfect scenario. You've then got Magneton to come in, Volt Switch, Pikachu, lovely little bit of energy from the energy zone, you change your turn. From that next turn, the most ideal way that you've got, hopefully you've either gotten rid of an EX or at least one and an EX has taken its place. You then throw a Dawn onto the next turn, so this should be your 4th turn or 4th or 5th turn. Dawn then from the Magneton into the Pikachu, another energy zone, another 3, another 150, and that should be it. If it isn't, then obviously from there you've kind of just got to wait another 2 turns, because then you'd need to put energy zone, Magneton, energy zone, and then you'd have another one, in fact, so it'd be 3 turns, because obviously from there you could potentially bring it back and kind of go with Magneton then and just try and go that way. But in general, it's a harder deck, and I could see why people would prefer to just go with a normal Pikachu, because obviously you could do all of that and have the circle circuit. Meaning, you could still then start whacking up your Magneton. You could even split them between them, to be honest. You could have the EX Pikachu, and every time that obviously you kind of bring in. So basically, you start with the left-hand Pikachu here, and then obviously you could then bring in Pikachu EX. Once you've got the 3, bring it back out with an X speed, bring in the other Pikachu, and just keep switching if you really wanted to. But again, it depends on what you're going for there. I think it's one of them ones that, in some scenarios, it will work really well. In others, it will just be a bit more of a hassle compared to what we've already got. But that's probably the best chance I've got with a Pikachu deck when it comes to utilizing the new deck. And we always like the new. Iono's obviously in there just to try and sort out the deck. Professor's research for more cards. The Cape just to add a bit more HP. Gets it up to 140 at a minimum, which is nice. And then Sabrina, just in case someone gets a bit too tasty in the ring. And that's about it. So let me know down below any other improvements, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.